For those of you that are thinking of going live and streaming live, this is the show for you. Join us on the Fanny Dunnigan Show. Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Fanny Dunnigan Show. My name is Fanny Dunnigan, and every other Thursday I come to you featuring content creators from all types of industries and businesses, and to share with you creators, tips, tools, and tales. So welcome and thank you for joining us live. I see we already have tons of people here. This is amazing. I know it's because of the subject matter and the amazing guests that I have. Let's see who is on. Amelie Herford, welcome. Katie, welcome, welcome. Chandra is on here. And look at all this. Awesome. Lori Knudsen, welcome. Hey, welcome, welcome. And Chandra, as always, love seeing you here in the feed. And Jason Croft, oh, welcome from Colorado Springs. Hey, Jason, good to see you. And shout out to my new connection, Al Imran from FreshBooks that I just talked to this week. You guys have to check out FreshBooks if you want to get a better hold of your finances before tax season. Dolores, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is amazing. And this is going to be a very, very interactive show today because we're going to talk all about live streaming. And I know that a lot of you are very, very interested in that right now. And everybody has access to LinkedIn Live now. And there's some steps to go about doing it, but most of the time you're going to be approved for it. And I'm going to be talking to our guest about that. But in the meantime, please introduce yourself in the feed. Let people know where you're tuning in from. and tag some connections to join us. Who's interested in live streaming? Tag them in the comments, get them to join our show. And there's going to be tons of valuable tips with our guests today. And then I challenge you to network with 3 new people that you've never met before in the comments. Connect with them. This is a very friendly, interactive, collaborative audience. So you'll definitely want to connect and meet with some of the connections here in the comments. So be sure to do that. And now I'd like to introduce and bring on our community manager for the show, Jihan. Jihan, how are you? Welcome.
Hey, Fanny Dunn again. What you say? So glad to be here. I know there's a lot of super psyched people for this hot topic. So yeah, great to see everyone. I'm Jihan. Well, I'm Jihan, G, if you will, tuning in from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm actually in Frisco.
DFW. Welcome. And G is going to be helping us engage with you guys in the comments and make sure that I don't miss anything in the feed. So be sure to connect with her. She's an amazing branding, HR marketing person, and you're going to want to definitely know her if you don't already. So be sure to connect with her, and you'll see her in the comments. Thank you, G. Okay. So what I've started to do is I've started to have what I call show notes. And I wanted to share that with you guys. Every week, I'm going to create these little templates in Canva for you. And the link is here. You can see it right here. And G is going to help me put it into the comments as well. And when you open this link, you're going to have all these sections for you that you can jot down notes for as you tune into the show. And it's a great way to, jot down your notes along the show, and then it's a place for you to keep it. And that way you're able to kind of like remember what was in the show. And especially today, there's going to be so many tips and tools and pieces of advice. So just click on that link that you see right there, and it's going to bring you into the template. And I'll give you a little glimpse of it right now. And you can see, I actually got this cool tip from Canva. I attended a Canva summit, and they had this cool feature where they gave you a template. There it is. Okay. And once you click on that link that you see in the comments from G, G, it's not the wordplay one, it's the one from bit.ly, bit.ly. And you can see here, when you click on it and use the template, you're going to be able to jot down your notes from the show. And it's a great way to jot down ideas as well and what you learned. And you can just use this little template. It even shows who my guest is in 2 weeks. And this is for you to take notes while you watch this show. Okay. So let's get to it. As I do every week, I share a content tip of the week. And today's content tip of the week is actually inspired by my daughter. I thought I'd share with you a little story. My daughter is in cross country, and last night we had a banquet to celebrate the seniors that are about to kind of like, graduate this year. And it was really, really inspiring for me to attend. They had about 250 people in the cafeteria of the school, and they were honoring all the senior cross-country runners. And the coach had a really unique exercise for them. The coach had each of the seniors go up to the podium in front of 250 people and share their journey. And one of the reasons he said he's doing this is He said, life is all about sharing your voice. And he wanted to prepare them for those work interviews that they're going to have, the presentations that they're going to have. And so he was giving them this opportunity to speak their story for 2 minutes in front of this crowd of like 250 parents and students. And he asked them to share how they got into cross country, share their progress, the lessons they learned, and a quote that keeps them motivated. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, what an amazing opportunity. Even though they were all nervous, you could tell them like fidgeting and they're reading from their papers. But at the same time, some of them like really own the moment. And I was so inspired and I wanted to share that with you guys because even here on this platform, even us as adults and professionals and entrepreneurs and corporate professionals, it's a great reminder for us that we should always be sharing our voice and sharing our messages. And it's never too young or never too old to be doing that. So I wanted today to kind of be a reminder for all of you out there that haven't live streamed yet or done a video yet or created consistent content yet. This is your time. This is your time to share your voice and share your message. And at the very least, use some of those tips that the coach mentioned about share how you got here in your career, share the progress that you've made along your career, share the lessons you learned, and you can even share a quote that keeps you inspired and motivated. And that's my content tip of the week. Share your voice. Awesome. Okay. Wonderful. Oh, thank you. The feed is coming through here. I love this. David Cause says, thank you for sharing that story. For sure, for sure. It was really inspiring to me. Shout out to Russ. Thank you for joining us, Russ. Olivia, thank you for joining us. It's been a while. Shout out to Olivia in New York. And there you go. There is the link again for the show notes, and use that to follow along. Okay, now to the star of the show. And drum roll. I really need a drum roll. Okay, I need some sound. I'm going to get a drum roll sound bit. The star of our show right here. Everyone, please join me in welcoming Gabe Leal to the show. Welcome, Gabe. How are you?
Hey, Fanny. So, wow, that was a really great tip. I love that.
Yeah,
Right?
and like we need to start younger, right? These are like high school students sharing their voices, and same as us. I mean, we could learn, we can take a lesson from that as well, right?
Right. Well, they're again, in their perspective on life's going to be different than ours,
For
right?
sure.
They're
For
they're
sure.
gonna see, life in a in a different light than we would if we're doing it, if we're talking about it, because we're gonna throw like added experiences and things that we've gone through where they're just going to see the world for the very first time. I love that
Absolutely.
perspective. It's
Me
amazing
too.
to hear them talk
Yeah.
about it because you get something that we don't have very much often as adults. And I'll tell you what that is: optimism. We
Mm,
drop the ball on that sometimes when you're that young and you're looking at the world. Um, you, the experiences and everything that comes along later on. I mean, that might change it, but you know what? There's something about being that young and that fresh going out into the world. You
for
know,
sure. For
you live
sure.
that life half the glass half full, and I
Right?
love looking at it from that perspective. So
I know.
love that
And
tip.
so before we even, I mean, I forgot even to like introduce you properly. Give me a sec, Gabe. Everyone, can you see? Like he's so engaging. His authenticity always shines through. But I want to just formally introduce his bio. Gabe Leal is a LinkedIn live streaming expert and video content strategist. He broadcasts a weekly show called TGIF Live that helps educate through conversation and interaction. His video career has been based on becoming a leader by building upon the wealth of knowledge and learning from other creators, self-education, and trial and error. And his mission is to help others learn and improve their live shows to create the best presentation possible. His journey began on the ground floor with no previous experience. What he has learned is how to create value in everything he does. And now with over 300 live shows and productions created, he's used his experience to help coach, educate, and certify new creators and producers.
Yes.
And I still remember the first time we connected, Gabe, right?
Yeah.
With through Lila Smith. Shout out to Lila.
Shout out
You'll
to
have to help me tag Lila Smith in here. Lila Smith's Say Things Better workshop.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Gabe and I kind of met. But tell people, like, from that day, I still remember what you said. Do you remember what you said that day about your goal?
Yeah, and you know what? That's funny that we're talking about this, because I talked about this today in the audio room that I was hosting, and you know, a lot of the things that I talked about that day, you know, and I still have I still have the worksheet that we had that we did that day, because there was a lot of very poignant things that I wrote about, not just myself, but things that I was wanting to accomplish. And you know, whenever I was sitting there talking to all of these people, I was, you know, it was my very first time of being like in person, in network, meeting a lot of these people that I've had followed, that I'd seen on LinkedIn. It was my first real experience. And you want to talk about intimidation? That's where I told myself, but you know what? I learned listening to everybody as we sat around there and we carried on our conversations that day, that these were just everyday regular people. Mm-hmm. There was, you know, what they were just talking about, what they were just sharing was just as real as what I was going on in my life and those things. So at that point, I knew that, you know, I needed to go out there and start sharing my message and my voice. And, you know, it kind of gave me the springboard, the little bit of the courage to start putting myself out there and start to reach out to people. Mm-hmm. You know, that was one thing that I was not very good at when I first started actually actively being on the platform. It was mostly
what held you back. What do you think held you back before?
You know what it was for me. I know exactly what it was. You know, when you see somebody on camera, or when you see something, I've had this experience with people now when they talk to me, you feel like, oh my gosh, this person's got it all together. Everything they're doing is figured out. They know exactly what they do, their plans, their strategy, all of it. And I realized that, you know what, we were all in the same boat. And I think that was a big part of it, was seeing everybody doing something. And you know what, it was the whole thing of, you know, just fake it till you make it. I didn't realize that. It's like, hey, you know what, people were just doing it to until they actually figured it out.
Yeah.
Nobody starts, it's just, you know, that's why
you're putting on the parachute while we're diving from the plane.
Exactly. You know, and then you figured out, I just jumped out of a plane. Holy crap. What am I doing? But you're there. Once you're there in the experience, then you take from it and you start going, okay, this is just life. We are just people, and we're just going to kind of, you know, we're gonna do what we're gonna do until we figure out exactly what that plan is and what that strategy is. That develops along the way. It kind of evolves as you do, as a person, as a creator, as an individual. So, you know, that was a big
about like evolving. How did you even like decide to get into live streaming?
So, okay. So this is a big one for me, where I was just going to do a podcast because, you know what, I was like, you know what, I'll just do my voice. People don't need to see me, but, you know, I'll just try it out just to see. And that was the original plan. I mean, I actually wrote it down as a project I was going to do just a podcast. And then one day I got on LinkedIn, and I'm glad that I don't know he's here, but somebody can tag him. But I saw Russ Johns. Russ Johns was doing live streams, and I sat there and I was so fascinated just by listening to him interview somebody on a live stream, and people seeing, and people were commenting. That's how I actually met some of the people in the comments. Laura Knudsen here, was one of those that I've actually met by networking through a live stream. And I said, wow, what a genius idea. I wonder what you got to do to put something like this together. So I reached out to him. Of all things, I reached out to somebody I did not know. I had no idea if this person might be like, you know what, buzz off, kid. I don't know who you are. Instead I got the other part of like, yeah, man, let's talk. And he gave me a link to book a time for him. I booked a time. I said, okay, we'll talk. I remember I went overboard crazy with all these questions that I wanted to ask him. We ended up having a 2-hour conversation. He was gracious enough to spend 2 hours talking with me. And he kind of laid it out for me. And I said, you know what? I'm sold. I want to do this. And I went ahead and started doing all the research, studied what I could, did everything that I could to understand a little bit better. I started watching like TEDx talks on how to interview people. I mean, I just literally dove headfirst into what I was about to start doing. And, I learned. I had no experience. I just went in there, took the time to kind of educate myself on certain things that I wanted to implement in starting out a live show. And I didn't get a lot of knowledge at very first. I just kind of like was nervous to like, how do I interview people? I started learning all the other stuff because my first video is terrible. Everybody talks about them.
All of us. All of us.
It was a blank white sheet behind me. It was very poor lighting. It was not having microphone technique, how close to be, how far away to be, how so people can hear me. Even looking into the camera, I kept doing this. I was doing this, Fanny. I kept going, looking up because I was thinking of thought. I rambled on. I think my first show was 19 minutes. 19 minutes, and it felt like it was 2 hours to get through. Now I can monologue for 19 minutes.
But wouldn't you say, like, especially with live streaming, no matter all the prep and all the things that you think you're ready, live streaming is one of those things that you can only get better through doing, right?
Yes.
Like you can't be excellent right on day one. You can only just slowly grow and progress. What do you think about that?
And that's a big one. That's a big one for what I, in what we're doing and as a creator, and how, how we go and start talking and putting ourselves out there. That's a big one for a lot of us, is getting the repetitions in. I got a gentleman here who's watching in the comments. His name's Russ Hedge. He's very closely associated. I'm actually going on his show tonight later on, but but you know what? He was one of those people that's the same thing. It was very much the same approach. Started putting himself out there, started making it consistently, showing up there every day.
Yes.
And as you start getting the practice in, these things you start learning skills, right? You start learning these skills, and all of a sudden you didn't know that you actually had. I didn't know I had the ability to like really interview people.
Yeah.
It was practice, and it was over and over and over again. And the reason I did an everyday show is because I knew myself. When you know oneself, you know that sometimes you have to do things to hold yourself accountable. And that was what it was for me. I knew that if I put it on the wayside, I did this with my writing. That's why I know. I was writing I was trying to write a couple books before I started hopping into live streaming. But I put them off because I didn't have this level of confidence. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do with them. So I procrastinated, just let them sit. I still have them, and they will be published because now I know a lot more about myself. But they were sitting there And I knew that if I did the same thing with what I was doing with this project, I would get nowhere. So
For
people said you
sure.
were insane. You know what? It was insane. I don't recommend it. I don't tell, don't do that. But you know what? It
Yeah.
was a really great tool to help me define myself and how to get myself more accountable for what I wanted to do with my actions. And that was a big part in how I've grown, how I developed. So
Mhm.
that was a big part of the whole journey. But that was, that was a genesis for me of how that really
I mean,
played into what I was
you've
doing.
kind of mentioned, like, as far as like the benefits of live streaming, right? That interaction with a live audience, that immediate thing. You met someone that ended up inspiring you and to do live stream, and then you guys became great connections. Now you pay it forward and you help all kinds of other live streamers.
Yeah.
What are some of the other benefits that you've seen from live streaming?
Well, number one, there's quite a bit of uh, benefits that are actually that you can actually have now with live streaming. One of them that I really love to talk about and get people um, understanding is that as you go into live streaming, if you're doing this to build a personal brand, right? That's a big one for a lot of people. What's better? What's a better calling card than this? Um, the face. People see you. They understand who you are. So you develop a really good, again, a really good connection with the people that follow you, the people that are part of your audience, and they start knowing and understanding who you are. So when you're branding and you're building your social media, this is a great way to put yourself out there. And people again will start finding you. That's how you start building this audience, and that's one for me. One of the big ones when I start telling people about, hey, this is what you want to do if you want to get into live streaming. Um, and then of course, if you're doing it for business, um, same thing. You can actually build your business brand by coming on here and sharing content. You can actually start finding an audience. You can actually start finding, um, you know, a target audience and what you want to do. And you know what? You're building an authority for yourself. You know, people connect with somebody who's willing to come on there and talk about what it is they're passionate about, what it is that they're going to, put out there for people to kind of discover. So, I always tell people, look at it from those perspectives.
Yeah.
I mean, you do it with social media when you post and you're trying to build a brand and you kind of get people familiar. I think live streaming just accelerates that to a whole nother level. That's why I push people to
Absolutely.
go do it. I'm like, if you're trying to build it, trying to build that brand, what a better way. This is like our new business card of how I can get
Yeah.
across. I can take a clip from this now and go share it with somebody. Go,
Oh,
hello, here I am.
repurposing also, right? The power of being able to repurpose a whole show. Talk
Yes.
about that, Gabe.
Yeah. And again, in this world where we're talking about what it is to have, a personal brand, what it is to have a business brand, what do you do with the content and everything that you do with what you're creating, right? I mean, this is exactly, folks. This is what NFTs are. I mean, if you don't know what NFTs are, go Google it. Go watch a YouTube video on it. Digital assets. That is what we're going into the next level of the metaverse, right? When people are talking about that, you know, I could create a video. I can make it exclusive for so many people. And then if I wanted to go out there and create like a certain PDF or something, tie it all together and sell it as an NFT to say, you know what, this is exclusive to you 5 people that purchase this. Nobody else has this content. Whatever it is, the value. That's what we are. This is what our repurposing of our content can do. We can go out there now and go actually use it in targeting business and talking about something. I mean, if somebody would say, well, how do I know you know, let's just say in real estate, how do I know that you're talking about what you're talking about here? Learning about square footage or learning about how the market is or anything that has to do with it. Oh, you want to know? Look, here's a short piece that I did on YouTube. Go check out what I'm talking about and whether or not I know exactly what you're looking for. I got evidential proof right there that I can have somebody hand
Yeah.
it to them as opposed to me just talking about it. And when
Well,
you
and
get,
right there, Enrique says, folks have become comfortable with me because of my live shows. It's so
exactly.
true. It's people know you before they even meet you. They feel like they know you from your lives, right?
Exactly. And you know what? That takes down that filter, that little wall. Somebody wants to come up there. Oh my God, that's Fanny. I gotta go talk to Fanny again. Dunnigan. She's right over there. Let me talk to her. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, I've seen you so many times. Like they connect before we even have. Again, that gives me an instant level, an inside track to meeting somebody who, if their purpose is talking business with me, guess what? Now we have a singular way to kind of communicate. We already have a
Yep.
level ground where I don't even have to establish that yet. How? Because I'm on the live video and I'm talking about it.
Yeah. So
Right?
let's get tactical, Gabe, because I
Yes.
know we got like how-to people, right? Like people want
Yes.
to know tactics. So now we know the why.
Hmm.
Okay. So let's get down to the how. What would you say are what are your 5 tips to getting started on live streaming?
Oh my gosh, there's I love these, and these are again standard on any platform that you want to go on, folks. Number one that I tell a lot of people is have good audio. That's a big one. You know, you can have I could have a crystal clear feed behind me. I could have a 4K camera streaming. I could have the best lighting. I could have all the ambiance in the world. If nobody can hear me, nobody's going to watch.
Right.
They're going to tune me out. So your audio is vital. It's almost it's like you can't have a live stream without it. It's 1A and 1B is your
And you
is
can go like cheap, medium, expensive too, right?
yeah.
With audio.
With audio, you can, that's where for a lot, I tell a lot of people, you don't have to invest tons of money in getting your audio. Look, this microphone here, I bought this. It's got a microphone that I use now. Now I can, when you get better and you feel like you're ready to invest a little bit more into it, okay, invest in a microphone. Go, take levels of how you want to do. I mean, I get that when people say when they start out doing something, you don't go buy the most expensive thing and think that's going to draw you money or going to draw you audience.
Yeah.
Take time to develop in this. So audio is a big
Yeah.
one for a lot of folks that I tell them you can start out cheap. Same thing with your camera. That's the next thing I tell people. And getting a good camera. You don't have to spend tons of money to break the bank to get a nice quality camera. I mean, you can go buy a stream cam. They're now very common. I mean, you can go buy a Logitech camera. I mean,
Yep. Yeah.
it's fairly
I started
inexpensive.
with a webcam and now I have an SLR. Yeah.
Exactly. And
Mhm.
so again, it's the evolution of what you want to do as a creator. So again, having a go and investing in a camera. Um, Look, if you're starting out, use even your iPhone has some. For some people,
Mhm.
iPhones have actually better resolutions than some stream cams.
So
You know,
true. So true. And for those
so
of you out there, like as we go along here, feel free to drop your questions for Gabe on live streaming. We're going to post those as we go along. So you don't have to wait till the end. Drop your questions as we go. Okay.
right,
Um,
I love that.
and actually, here we go. I missed a question.
Oh,
Lori Nunson asks,
yeah.
I have not applied previously for live. Do I choose LinkedIn Live video auto apply for access? And
Yes.
do I
So
need to create an account with a third-party streaming service?
yes, you
So
do.
let's
We're
answer her question before we get to number 3.
we're gonna get into the other part. I'll talk to you about the StreamYard part, but yes, here in a bit we're gonna touch on that. But yes, when you apply, you do make sure number one that you have your creator mode turned on, especially on LinkedIn. So if you don't have it on, turn it on. Um, it's now simply a process of going to the LinkedIn help page. You can apply there. All
Mhm.
it is copy and paste your profile, add it in there. Most of the times they're doing turnarounds anywhere from I've heard shortly as like is turnaround in 4 hours. They're giving you access. So
As
one
long
way
as
to
they have creator mode on,
mode
right?
turned on. Yes, you gotta have it turned on.
That's the trick, folks. Yeah.
So once you have that there, you go apply. You'll get an email. You might be able to find out whether or not you have it by turning on creator mode. When you go to an event, you can actually go set up an event now. And if you scroll down in your event, if you have LinkedIn Live, it's going to allow you access right there instantly. You'll say live, it says LinkedIn Live event. You click on it, you have access to it. You're able to broadcast. So
And I just pasted there's a link in the chat that you could send to folks. That link gets people to the LinkedIn Live application. And even then, it's more or less auto apply, but you can read more instructions from that link.
Yes. So
absolutely,
go check that out. And that's a big one for, people who are trying to get started. It's just go check the tools that they're giving you. That the help desk does a lot. If you go to the help page, you can go find out everything that you need to know. You need 150 followers. There's just a few things that they want you to kind of, meet the LinkedIn guidelines. You don't break any of those, you should be good to go. Which, there you go, the live video help. There you go. So you can, and it'll walk you through. And you see the auto apply, just click on it. Boom. It'll take you. It's already a hyperlink to click. And once you click it over there, boom, it'll take you right there. It'll take you over there, and you can just, boom, put your copy and paste your LinkedIn profile there, and you should be good to go. And then you'll find out. So
there you go.
There you go, folks.
So,
yes. Well, I'll get to the other
question in there, and now let's get to tip number 3 of getting started.
So we'll get that. And of course, you know what, guys, I'm going to tell, this is one that I usually love to share with folks. I talked about this on my show as well, with, lighting plays, it's not everything, but, having good light is pretty vital. And I'm going to show you something. This is what I'm talking about now. See this? I have this here. This is a bulb, and I've used this as an example for folks. This is a $8.97 bulb. Nothing very expensive at all. If you have a desk lamp, these things illuminate so much light, right? You can actually watch this. look at this. You see that bar? Now, I don't turn this on right now unless I have my white lighting on, but there's a particular type of light that you can buy, and it's called daylight light. It illuminates really well. It's usually got a high lumen count. And again, you don't have to break a bank. You don't go to start out with, you don't have to spend $100 on a ring light, right? I've put together an Office Depot lamp and a light bulb for, I think $19.95. To get started with. That's exactly what you need. And then, like I said, then you want to move up to elevate to the next level.
Yes.
Okay, invest in it. But you know what? It doesn't really have to break the bank to have very good lighting. I can hide what I do very well simply by having decent lighting and make it.
In fact, on YouTube, they have all these like moody lighting. It's like super dark, except like this lamp on the side of their face.
Right? And they turn that down. Exactly. Well, it looks like that's how my background looks when it's now darker now. So I do have one lamp that I turn on here. That's it. And I really don't point it directly on me because of my glasses.
Right.
But, again, very inexpensive. You don't have to break the bank to make the right kind of lighting or the right kind of atmosphere.
Awesome. So good audio, good camera, good lighting.
And then
number 4.
Number 4, have a message. Have your, what you want to share with somebody is just as vital as everything else that we've talked about. So when you have a message that you want to share with somebody, take the time to craft out what you want. It's going to be passionate for you. You're going to have to be talking about this subject for however long that you're going to be on a live stream. So pick something that resonates with you, and I promise it's going to resonate with the people that are watching your show, that start following along as you start building an audience. So when you get started, when you're doing this, get your message together. Take the time to build out a small little outline of what it is that's going to make you stand out and be unique. So that's why I tell a lot of people that get started. You know what? I can have all the other things, right? You can have 1A, 1B, 2. You can have number, and then you turn the cameras on, and then what? What are you going to do? Have that kind of in place and ready to go, right? And that's a big
Absolutely.
one.
And I love it. See, Olivia's reinforcing your point. You don't have to break the bank to get started.
You know,
absolutely.
Right.
Now there is a question. So Cameron Toth, for those of you that don't know him, be sure to connect with Cameron. He also has a huge live stream show. He's asking, are we using Restream now?
Okay, let me get to tip number 5, and we'll go.
Yes,
that's where our next
and
thing
we're going to get to that, Cameron, real quick.
So
but
now
the
you have to
answer is
wait.
yes.
Don't go nowhere, because if you want the answer, now you're going to have to wait. So stick around.
That's another trick. Tease people that an answer is coming.
So I got to keep them engaged. That's right, and that's the next part of it. Is how to engage your audience.
Tip number 5.
Right, engage with your audience. Make them feel like they're part of the conversation. If you want to start building an audience, if you want to start communicating, if you want to start connecting, engage with your audience. That's a huge one that I see a lot of creators drop the ball on. Now, if you're doing it strategically, because again, what we talked about earlier, and you're just repurposing your content, great. But if that's not the point, if your point is to trying to build audience and get people to come along, learn how to engage with your audience. Make them feel like they are a part of the show. Make them feel like they're a part of what they do here. You do that, they're going to come back every single week or every single time that you're on, because they feel like they're contributing to this as well. They're part of your journey. That's how I always end my show every day.
That's such a good point. Your audience is part of your journey.
Exactly.
Say that again.
Your audience is part of your journey. That's why I tell everybody in my show, you guys are the lifeblood of what I do here. I make sure that I want them to understand that that's how vital they are to what I do as a creator.
Absolutely.
So I want to keep that, I want to keep that in mind for a lot of those people who get started. You follow a few of these tips, and then look, these 5 tips will evolve. Every single one of them are going to evolve, right?
Here's the summary. Audio. Good audio.
There you go.
Good camera.
Mm-hmm.
Good lighting.
Good lighting.
Have a message. And engage with your audience. Right there, folks. Those are the tips from Gabe to get started. And I couldn't agree more. 100%. Now let's talk about software, right?
Yes.
There's the whole big debate. Okay. Probably the top 2 streaming softwares right now are Streamyard and Restream.
Yes.
Tell us pros and cons.
Of both. Wow. So there's been.
Where do you want to start?
I want to start with well, number 1, I love that we have a competition between the 2, because you know what they're doing? They're simply just helping us as creators, because they're adding more and more features all the time. And again, they're competing, just like, this is business. They are competing for our dollar. They have a bottom line too that they have to meet. So of course they're going to put this out there. Now, again, both of them have their advantages and disadvantages of how you want to use them. Restream number 1 is, again, why a lot of creators are coming here is for the simple reason what we're doing here now. I have an audience that's watching this live stream, apart from the audience and network that's watching from Fanny's network.
Yeah, I'm going to open up the chat right here just so people can see this overlay. It's amazing.
So
it didn't.
It'll take a second. It'll take a second.
It's
just give
coming.
it a minute.
Okay.
It takes a minute to populate, but once you start seeing it populate into there you go. See, so as you can see, there'll be comments that are coming in from my audience, and there's people that are coming in from Fanny's audience. Yeah. That's a big one. That was a huge one for a lot of the people who were wanting to stream, because here's why it's so vital. For example, I'm just going to use this strictly as an example, but tomorrow I get a phone call from Gary V. Gabe, I want to come on your show. Absolutely. Let's do this. I want to broadcast it out to my audience. So,
Yeah.
oh no, what do I do now? Restream now offers this where, you know what, Gary, just link your Facebook group, put your YouTube page here, put your LinkedIn profile here. I can't help you with Instagram. Sorry about that. They got their own issues, but you can connect just about everything else through even to your website through a RTMP server. I can go there, get a stream key, add it in here. You can stream it to just about anywhere, Gary, and we can connect our audiences. And now no longer are the people, not only like the 6,000, the 6,000 followers that are watching my stream. Now I'm getting to 1.2 million people that are watching Gary's stream.
Yes. Yes. Number one pro, right? Number one advantage of Restream. You get to pair with your audiences or your guest audiences.
And that's a big one for folks who, again, that's why a lot of creators love what this is, because it makes it easier for us now. And like even Cameron today, he had on Glenn Lundy. So Glenn does an everyday show.
Check that out, everyone. Cameron had Glenn Lundy on. A huge creator. Yeah.
A big creator. He does. And he had him on his Biz Dev Live today. And guess what? If he connected with his pairs, the right pairing, boom, guess what? Now people discover Cameron apart from just knowing who Glenn is. And all of a sudden they're going to reach out to him, send connections. Again, you don't know what hampers for that. The right door might open. So you know what? I love what you do, Cameron. I need to hire you.
Yes.
It's that simple. That's just what this is, folks.
This is getting access, especially if you have a popular guest that he has huge followings. You get access to their audience if you pair with them on Restream.
Right? And it's as simple as clicking a button. They don't even have to do anything. It's like instant pairs now. It's like, hey, I can turn it on. Boom, it's there. You don't have to do anything else, Glenn. Log in, hit the button yes, and we'll go. And it makes it that's why a lot of creators love it. And again, this is what I love what we're talking about. Restream now is about to introduce, and they're rolling out their version of Teams. Now, Teams was a huge one that I talked about.
Or Streamyard, right?
Oh, not Restream. No.
Restream. Oh, okay.
This is a new feature. Out for folks. You're getting exclusive here, folks. So Restream is now going to have a Teams version. So for an example, and this is the perfect example, I'm glad you have this. So now you have G who's in the background. If you allow G to now enter into your studio as an admin, she'll be able to pull in all the comments. She'll be able to pull in everything. She is your remote producer now. She's able to handle a lot of the stuff in the scenes so that Fanny can just concentrate on the conversation. She doesn't have to worry about nothing else.
Bringing in the comments.
And as a host, you don't know how valuable that it's invaluable of what that means to us as creators to have that. So that's a big one, and people can actually now do this with Restream, and that's going to be great because then again, if you have somebody that's setting up everything for your show, who's doing your production build out, you don't no longer have to be here. I can give them access to my dashboard. They can load everything for me, my overlays, my B-rolls, my stingers, everything. And you know what I get to do? I get to come on here and start having a conversation. How magical is that?
It is. Someone else can take care of all the technical side. Imagine that.
So that's one of the great features that they're adding on there as well. Now with Restream, they had a few advantages that now StreamYard starting added to their own. So StreamYard now they just introduced this last week, and it was Juma Bannister who pointed this out to me, but now they have their own background music. So now you can have the access. So it's available here in Restream that you can bring it in as a feature, and you can have your own background music if you wanted to. So if you wanted to have a different vibe, now StreamYard has their own background music. So it's the same sort of deal. They're able to bring that in. They were the first one to introduce Teams as well. So it's still pretty valuable. They both have starred comments, which is, if you don't know why it's important. So Fanny's here is probably going to end up with 200 something plus comments. But if she wanted to just pull apart only the questions that are in her stream, that she can pull them up in a Q&A session, she can just star the comment. It'll store it in a small queue for her to pull. or her producer, now that she has Teams, and her producer will be able to go, hey, now guys, it's Q&A session. I'm going to bring in a question so you guys we can answer them, or allow our guests to answer them. And all of a sudden,
Oh, I didn't know about this feature, Gabe.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So you see the little star? There should be comments that you can see there. So when you click it, so, you know, you how magical
I see the
is
star
that?
now. This
How
whole time.
magical. This
Love
whole time.
it.
We're learning
Guys,
we're
exclusive
learning as
right here.
So we're learning as we go along, but that's the magic of it.
Yes. Okay. There we go. I starred Cameron's question, and then there it goes right here.
And that's how magical it is. This is where both of these features have so many different things that are being added in there all the time. And it's because they're, again, vying for our business, for our dollars. So there's so many things that are being added in. And
so Cameron asked, how do you star comments? If you hover over the message, you'll see a little star.
And it'll pin it. And you can just hold it there, and you can pin 4 or 5 comments in there. And when you click it, when you go to your start comments little tab there, it's just the 4 comments that you wanted, nothing else. That's why I said you don't know how long I've clamored for something like this. Some of my shows, if you don't watch, folks, can get up to 500-700 comments in a show. And if I want to pin certain things that I've seen across the whole interview, which I might carry on for a whole hour, I can pull them up very easily and readily available for us. So it's a game changer in how you can actually now, manage your stream.
Awesome.
And there's
all the more you need a background producer.
So Olivia's got a question that I saw pull up, and I think you'll see pull up there as well.
Yes.
I would pin this when I would go into Q&A. So are the packages comparable between Streamyard and Restream? Yes. Now they both have free versions that you can use. Both of them have a limitation on how much you can stream, and you have watermarks. There's limitations on destinations as well. So as you pay for the more expensive plans, as you upgrade in your plan, you get more features.
Right now, though, for me at least, Restream costs more. I think it's like $47 for the next plan up from free.
Yeah. So
Streamyard is like $25. Is that right?
Okay. So they both have a price difference. The jump goes drastically from Restream. I think the Restream one is the lowest paid package, which is just one. You're able to stream to one destination, but you don't have limits on how much you can stream, and you can take the watermark off. It's like $14.99. Then it jumps up to $49.95 for the Pro package. So there is a big jump. Streamyard has a little bit different tiering on their pricing, is what you can do. But again, the more you pay, the more features you're going to get. Like, for example, Cameron was talking about how to repurpose earlier.
Mm-hmm.
This is a perfect example of what you can do with repurposing. So say you wanted to do this live video here. We're doing a video here. We're having a really good conversation. I want to download this and put it to my podcast. I have a podcast that I can repurpose this for afterwards. When you pay for the other features for the more expensive plans, you get the ability to now download your audio, and you can download your audio
separate from your video, guys. Audio separate. And video files separate.
Wait, yeah. So you get now separate audio and video. And here's another one. Now you can do separate audio tracking. So I can have my video and my audio. So if I wanted to take my audio away from yours because there were certain things that I was just sharing and you didn't want to include it, I could just take it in from just strictly my audio and download it in there and clean it up and cut it up into snippets, or, put it in there as part of just a smaller version of a podcast. I get 2 separate zip files when I'm done. So, that's a huge one. If you're going to repurpose this content afterwards and go, you know what, I got a podcast that I want to create this audio for. So that's
Here is a comment from Cameron, and I'd like to. Mm-hmm. I think we should debate this because I would kind of agree, right? Cameron says he definitely prefers StreamYard's user interface. And for me, I do find the StreamYard easier to use, more intuitive, but
Oh, no,
Restream is winning on features.
there's no
I mean,
debate on
the
that.
pairs alone, right?
There
Being able to
is no
pair.
debate on that. I'm going to tell you right now, if you ask me straight up, who's the interface do I enjoy more? StreamYards.
Yes.
It's
I second
user-friendly.
that.
It's
Mhm.
very user-friendly. It's very easy to navigate. You don't have, see, the thing about doing this here with Restream, you have 3 tabs I have to go over. So I do have to tab over to my banner there, or if I have to go to my chat, it's no longer just integrated in there. If I want to go back to my graphics, I got to go back to my graphics tab, and then I have to scroll down to find my backgrounds, my overlays, my videos, everything else. So the interface is a little bit more advanced, but like you said, the features, well, I mean, there's a lot of great features that they're adding in here, and it's this is how the game is played. So,
Yeah.
but you know, if you're asking me which one I prefer as far as like just the interface, it's StreamYard. I'm using StreamYard now, as a matter of fact.
Oh, are
But
you? But
mhm,
I can see that you've paired though.
mhm. So I still have a Restream account. I'm very much like Cameron. I use both because I teach and coach
Yeah.
people on how to use both. So I still have to have it available to use.
Do you
But
run it off both? So right now, okay, so this is an advanced tip, folks, okay? Those we
okay.
had 5 tips for those getting started, but now
Uh,
this is an advanced one,
Here's an
okay?
advanced one. So yes, you can. So here's the thing, folks. Here's a super advanced tip for those who are live stream creators. If you have a stream cam and a virtual cam going at the same time, you can open both Restream and StreamYard at the same time, pair both through LinkedIn destinations, and you can stream to one profile using both interfaces at the same time. I've done it. It's possible.
So you have
So,
the 2 tabs, the StreamYard tab
and then
and then a
Restream
Restream tab
tab.
up
So
on your browser,
on
guys.
my browser, on my browser. Now that's why I said you have to have a virtual cam. So if I wanted to, I could open up like the camera coming from my laptop as opposed to my stream cam. I can have my stream cam open in Restream, and I can have my laptop cam open over in StreamYard. And I can connect both my destinations and launch, and boom, I'm streaming to the same profile page from two stuff. It's not going to read, the algorithm doesn't pick that up. It just knows that Gabe's streaming
Yeah.
from StreamYard and now Gabe's streaming from Restream, and it's going to broadcast both.
Yeah.
It's going to confuse your audience, but it can be done, folks. And
But it's just like, front view, side view, front
view
view, side view, right?
exactly.
Okay, that was
So
for the advanced people. Ignore that. Okay, if you're a beginner, ignore that comment because it'll just seem confusing. So, but
yes,
for those of you, okay, just to recap real quick, okay, for those of you getting started, stick with those 5 tips, okay, of Gabe's, which were good audio, good camera, good lighting,
lighting,
message, and audience, okay?
yes.
But
So
for those that are advanced in the audience, okay, beginners, cover your ears.
yeah,
You can stream together,
there,
Restream and StreamYard.
yeah.
And what's the benefit of streaming it together?
So here's the thing that I've told people of how you can actually, why it's sort of vital. So if you're streaming on LinkedIn, right, and say you have my profile page, which might have 6,500 followers, but then I have a business page that has 200 followers, but I want to stream it to my business page as well. Here's why I love doing it this way, because if you're streaming it to your business page will harbor all your videos very much like a YouTube page, and they can become SEO searchable, just like an article. So if you're streaming to your business page, all your videos will be stored there. And why is that important? Because if you're streaming to your personal page, this video will probably sit there for maybe 2 or 3 days. And if you're posting, or if you have any activity or anything on your profile page, your video will get lost in your feed. You'll have to go search for it for 2, 3, 4, weeks of worth of content to find a particular video. Whereas if it's harbored to your business page, guess what? it's a simple click. It's almost like your personal YouTube page here on LinkedIn. So you can go, oh yeah, by the way, you want to go check out my video? I was actually talking about XYZ the other day. So in Cameron's case, let's just say I was talking about business development and how you can actually scale up a certain aspect of your business. I created a video on that. You want to go watch it? Here's the link.
Yeah.
Here's my page. Here's a link to my business page.
Yeah.
I can add resources there. I can add everything else there. I can funnel people, again, lead generation and how you can build this out. This is why it's such a wonderful part of what we do as creators. I can get you down. If I can get you there to my page and get you into my rabbit hole, I might have you there long enough to sell you on a course to get you to.
And I want to at least get that question in right now, because
Yes.
lead generation. Okay.
Yes.
Live streaming can bring lead generation.
It can.
Talk more about that, Gabe.
Folks, this is the wonderful part of what we're doing here. And so, the whole part about what you want to do as a business, and people say, how can I use live streaming as a business? What can I use it? How is it a tool for what I create? Right. So I would explain it to me a little bit. Okay, cool. This is how it does. When you start lead generating people, you can target an audience, right? You can go after a particular sector of people that you want. How? By creating, number one, like I'm talking about, streaming to your business page. And then once you do that, you can actually go start, you can start keywording people or searching people in the search tab on your LinkedIn page. And when you start doing that, you can go start sharing now out your videos from your business page, or you can send them a direct link and say, hey, check this out. This is what I have going on my business page. You can go check them out. And then they can go investigate you. They can go see what you have created there. You can put links to all of you can lead them off to a separate business website, or you can keep them there inside of your business page as well there and have resources there. Have them sign up for courses that you've created, or if you're going to plan a particular masterclass that streams strictly to your business page. That's the thing about your business page. Only the people that you invite there, only the people that are part of that page here will see your stream. It doesn't stream out to your personal page. So it doesn't go out to your whole audience. So if you wanted to strictly just concentrate on saying, my masterclass is here on my business page, I stream it here. Here's a link to sign up to the event. Go over there, check it out. Boom. And then from there, you can just kind of lead them to where you want to. And I'm using people to teach them, when you create an event, folks, you get analytics when you're done.
Yes.
Whether you know it or not. There's analytics now that are part of your event. That's why I tell people, plan the event, go back there, invite people to your event. Invite people to your event to attend, because then when you're done, it's going to give you a breakdown of everybody that attended your event. It's going to break down by location, by title, by
I'm going to try to pull up one of yours right here. Give me a sec. You keep on talking. I'll pull up one of yours.
Yeah. And so this is what I love, when there's people who are now like helping us develop this out. I have a friend named Dan Hall who's created a app called Peekaboo for live stream creators that gives you LinkedIn Live analytics, apart from the LinkedIn analytics that you're getting through LinkedIn. And why is that important in lead generation? This is how I can do this. So if I'm sitting here talking about what I'm doing here today, and I'm saying, hey guys, if you guys want to sign up for my free course, drop down in the hashtag live stream.
Is the analytics here?
So if you go to, no, it's going to say, so I'm going to tell you where to look. Go to one of your previous events.
Oh, it's got to be one of mine.
Mine events, not mine, because it's particular to the creator. So if you go to one of your own particular events and you pull it up.
Actually, I better not pull that up in the midst of my
well, you can,
in the midst of my live stream.
So the last one that you did was Sherry Garcia. Pull that one up. Go to that event that you can pull that up. If you created the event, it's going to give you analytics on it. So
let me show you guys, folks. This is the analytics.
Analytics of what you see. Yeah.
Okay.
And including something what my buddy Dan Hall does. He can actually, you can sign up for a service like what he offers. So if you've been on LinkedIn, you've used Shield, you can get post analytics, you can get that sort of deal. So in using something like this in lead generation, you can actually kind of guide to people what you want to do by simply using them to do. So if you,
There it
scroll
is.
down.
Okay. So this is one of my last show with Sherry. And there's
Yep.
the
And
analytics tab, right?
click it. Now, if you go down and scroll, look at this, folks. It gives you watch time. So it gives you like peak viewership. It gives you where it goes. And if you keep going down even further, it's going to start giving by demographic, right? So if you go by company, if you go, see, look at there. Look at this, folks. Why is that vital? I can tell you why. Just by looking at that. I love that. You know what? You're able to keep your audience engaged at a particular level throughout your whole stream.
Mm-hmm.
So that is very hard for a lot of streamers to do. And look at that. It tells you it gives you the likes, it gives you by location, it gives you by company. So if you're targeting a particular company that you want to watch, if you get 1 or 2 people in there,
Job function,
then
right?
exactly.
Location.
So these are the analytics that you can go use there. And then if you pair it with something like what my buddy Dan is doing, here's what he does with his analytics and why I love what he's doing. He can take the information that Fanny had in her stream with Sherry. He can go in there and he can give you every single comment, every single mention, every single hashtag used, every single profile of every person that attended your event. How is that important? If you're leading your people, like what it's called, lead gen, if you tell people sign up for my class, or if you're interested in my class, use the hashtag, sign up. All I have to do is wait for him done with the stream. He sends me a nice, easy to look at Excel file. I can go in there by the mentions, strictly by the mentions of people using the hashtag. And I can go and I have their LinkedIn profiles right there. Boom. I can instantly start sending out invitations to, hey, I saw that you were my stream. I saw that you used the hashtag. You were interested in this. Here's a link to book a time to conversation, or if you're interested in my class.
Yes. What a great lead in, right?
Exactly. Right. And I can send that out to 20 people that are interested. If I only land 5 of those people, it's paid for itself.
Yes.
Right. And it's going to lead me to higher conversion rates on how to get people to sign up for either my classes, my workshops, whatever it is, my services that I'm offering. Lead gen, folks, through live streaming.
Lead gen. Yes. There you go. Gabe, this hour has just flown by. I could spend another hour with you, and I'm sure the audience wants that too.
I could talk for another hour. But I got to say one thing. I love what you do, Fanny. I've been a very big fan of what you've been doing as a creator, because you're very much aligned with what I do. You go to teach people. You bring them here to educate them on how to become better at whatever it is, particularly that they want to share. And that's what we do as creators. And that's why I love to spotlight those individuals, because all they're doing, and like I said in my mission statement, there is to make people have the best presentation possible. And that's what I strive to do. That's my mission every single day, day in, day out.
Well, let's make sure people know about your live stream guide.
Yes.
Okay. For those of you that are old enough, remember TV Guide? Well, this is Gabe's live stream guide.
Yes. So I love it was created because I wanted to watch live streams, and I knew a lot of creators who were doing their own live streams. That's just my genre to be in. But my thing is, it was really hard and really discoverable to find some of the people who I watched all the time. So if I missed it in their feed, or if I missed it when they, when they posted it and I didn't catch it, I was like, man, you know what makes it very hard to discover. So I didn't see what I wanted from the platform. So I went ahead and created what I wanted to see.
Okay, last tip for you folks, because I want to show this to you. For those live streamers, this is so important, okay? This is Gabe's, let's see. Yes. Okay, so this is how you find it. If you're not already subscribed to Gabe's live stream guide, go to My Network, okay? On your desktop, newsletters. Okay. I'm already subscribed, but you can find it, right?
Yeah.
And it's called Daily Live Stream Guide.
That's it.
walk people through this real quick. What do you do in it?
So folks, when you go down there, it's a daily guide, and simply it's in the form of a newsletter.
This is today's.
This is today's. So when you click on it, I do one spotlight, which I talk about every day, and then I put them in category through hourly. So it's all based on Eastern
2:45 a.m. for all the Europeans out there.
For the Europeans, there are people streaming across the way. So there are some early streamers. I add and this is what I love. I've made this so much easy, Fanny. If you keep going down, scroll down to R's. I want to scroll down to show people. Let's scroll down to our feed because I want to show people how easy this is.
We're all the way at 5 p.m. Eastern.
And that's how many live
It's by time too, okay, guys? So it's chronological order.
Exactly.
Look at all this work he puts in, guys. It's phenomenal. Shout out to you, Gabe. Okay, there's ours.
There's ours right here. You want to know how easy it is to kind of see it? Just click on the photo. You don't have to do nothing else.
If I click on it, it's going to go to the stream, right?
It'll watch. This is what I love about it, though. So people, you don't even have to do anything. If you wanted to go watch the live stream that you want, if you just click on the photo, and what it'll do is it'll populate you to take you straight to the stream there, and you can go watch. Yeah. And this is what I love, though, too, is that
it's like we're watching ourselves.
Look
at that. We're streaming our stream.
But here's the wonderful part about it, folks, is that when you're done, this is where the value lies in the guide afterwards. So if you wanted to catch a stream or you wanted to catch something that you weren't able to see in the past, you wanted to go back and watch another episode, you can go to the guide and it has it stored all the replays. So the moment that it's added there, the replays are there as well. So you can go back and search your guide and go, I missed a show on Wednesday that I wanted to go watch. I go look to the guide, scroll through it, find it, go click on it, boom, it takes you straight over to the replay. And you can start watching it from there, and it harbors all that in the form of a newsletter. These are just using the features that LinkedIn's added to me. So I'm taking advantage of everything that they're giving to me and using it to maximize how I do it in my reach. So yes.
I love it, Cameron. Oh, this is even better comment from Michael.
Streamception. It is.
So it's true, Michael.
But that's how easy it is. I wanted to make it so easy and discoverable for the other creators that are out there who are doing this, because that's what I wanted to see. So I created what I wanted to see out of this. And, hopefully LinkedIn takes cues from this. I'm added audio events in there because we're having the same issues. It's very hard to discover them. I'm finding ways to discover them a heck of a lot easier, simply using the methodology that I've done before. I teach people to funnel them into the hashtags because the hashtags makes everything so much easier, discoverable. Mm-hmm. You can, and it's again, people can share it out there so they can tag it in there. And all I got to do is go follow the hashtag, and then I can go in there and find all the audio events or all the live stream events in each of these hashtags. That's why they're so important. Yeah, to get people to use them, because it just makes our job of wanting to find things discoverable. That's the complaint, is that until we get like a subscribe button, like YouTube, and we'll get the notifications when we do that. They're trying to do with their little bell.
Trying. It's not really rolled out fully. So
so if you got the little bell, you can see that you can subscribe particularly to someone's content.
Okay. Well, Gabe.
Oh, Cameron's got a question real quick that I want to cover.
Yes. There we go. Okay. Last question of the show. Here we go.
What hashtags?
Cameron, what hashtags should we be using when posting live streams?
Okay.
Tell them yours.
I'm going to tell them 4 that they need to share that are going to get them discovered.
Type it as you go.
Okay. Shoot. Number 1, use the hashtag LinkedIn. That's pretty simple. You should be doing that anyway. Right. Second hashtag is LinkedIn Live. If you're doing live streams, being honest. So if you type in hashtag LinkedIn Live, that's the next one you should be using. The third that I tell people to do that I built myself was LinkedIn Live Streams. Because I wanted people to go there and find the streams there. And then, of course, I want people to use
in your audio.
The audio events. Yeah. Use it without the S. I learned that today, as a matter of fact.
No S at the end of events?
No.
Okay.
It's LinkedIn audio event. I'll tell you.
Okay. Please
Um,
hold.
so there's been a change on that one. There you go. LinkedIn audio event. You can go find a lot of the audio events that are being posted there that the creators are using. That way, if you want to go search one of these LinkedIn audio rooms and go participate in them, they're easy to find. You can store them in your calendar. And I'm going to give you just one more that I want people to use.
Yes.
And it's the hashtag LinkedIn for creators. Why? Because if
I
you
actually don't know that one.
So if you are a creator, using the hashtag LinkedIn for creators will populate it there. That's where a lot of the creators go there and go find either different shows, audio events. It's everything that's in companies, and it's a LinkedIn product. So
Nice.
the LinkedIn for creators page is where you can go find like a lot of the feature rollouts that they're doing, a lot of the announcement that they're making. You can go find the LinkedIn for creators page. So I tell people, use the hashtag LinkedIn for creators. It'll populate your stuff there and people can find who you are. And we're just trying to bring this world a little bit closer together. So it makes it easy for us all.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Gabe. Thank you, audience. We have so many great questions from beginners and advanced live streamers. And it just goes to show, guys, I mean, we're all learning. We're collaborating. We're learning from each other. It never stops because LinkedIn keeps on evolving. The software streaming services keep on evolving. So we just kind of like keep up with it, with each other, with Gabe, and like it's all this big community. But it works, right? People are just, for the most part, 99.5% super collaborative, and that's how we all grow, honestly.
Right.
But for those of you out there, let me just highlight some quick shows. Please stay on, Gabe, and then we'll wrap up the show together. But I did want to just highlight some events real quick.
Please do.
So give me 1 second here. So I wanted everyone to know that we have an event coming up, and I'll be presenting I'll be on the panel of wordplay. Let me pull up the flyer here on February 1st. And this is the 2022 marketing trends. And it's going to be at Grapevine Main Street, above the Harvest Hall. And that will be on February 1st, 8:30 to 10:30. Tickets are $40 a person, which is just a steal. You're going to get all these marketing trends. It's a live workshop in person. There's also going to be an SEO expert, and then a guy, Daniel from Visit Grapevine, who will talk about how he attracts tens of thousands of people to attend their all their events in Grapevine. And so that will be on February 1st. And then after that, I wanted to highlight, in 2 weeks, my guest is going to be Leanne Calderwood, personal branding in the hospitality industry and content creation. And then February 24th, for those of you that want to get into the YouTube game, February 24th with Alicio Way, amazing creator on YouTube.
Alicio's a man. I love him.
I see Gabe there. Yeah, you know Alicio, right? Yeah.
Alicio's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
Go check out his YouTube channel, folks. He does wonderful content. A few weeks back when he was here in Dallas, he was actually interviewing Roger Wakefield about YouTube. And I mean, gosh, there's so many great, wonderful creators over there. So,
and then
check out
March
Alicio.
10th is going to be Andy Owen.
Yes.
He is a video creator from TechSmith who makes also Camtasia and Snagit. So Andy will be joining me. And then March 24th will be Chaz Wilson. He is the founder of Master Networks, or co-founder of Master Networks, I think. And we're going to talk about the business side of content creation. I recently finished his Business Accelerator course. So for all you content creators out there, this is the money side. Okay? Tune in, Gabe.
Tune in. That's where you want to
I
make.
learned a lot from Chaz about the money side of content creation and what's possible. So join us
Awesome.
March 24th. Okay.
Well, guys, I'm going to pop something too before I get out of here. I'm actually doing a live stream here in about 40 minutes with my mentor, who I mentioned earlier, Mr. Russ Johns, and a gentleman named Russ Edge, who was in the show earlier. We're going to be talking about live streaming, as a matter. So I'm going to get to doing what I get to love talking about now for probably another hour. So these are how my days.
That's why you're the stream tornado.
I love it.
You don't stop.
I don't stop, and you know what? When you love what you do, it's not even work.
It's not.
People ask me, like, how do you do all this?
I could easily go on, but I have to then now put on my mother hat and go feed my children. So. But for all of you out there, thank you, Gabe. Thank you, G, in the comments. Our community manager, shout out to her. Make sure you connect with G, connect with Gabe if you don't know him already. And I want to finish off with my message, as always. Be sure to shine your light, share your message, share your gifts with the world. And I hope you do it through video and now live streams. Okay? Share your voice, everyone. Go out and inspire.